I guess the first thing is that this tax treaty does not bring anyone into the Spanish tax net who is not already there under the current rules. The negative impact for individuals is if they are in the Spanish tax net, then it will take them longer to get out of it. There's the 4-year rule there for non-Spanish nationals, and Spanish nationals take forever, effectively, to leave Spanish residence if they move to Gibraltar.
Would it be fair to say that the treaty is slanted in Spain's favour?
If you look at the document on its own, there are certain aspects which you would say, well, yes, that is slanted in a particular direction. For example, the 4 years that it can take a non-Spanish national to get out of the Spanish tax net once they're in it, or forever for a Spanish national. Some of the provisions for companies, which could pull certain companies into Spanish residency. There is no similar provision in Gibraltar's case. But I think firstly you have to look at, well, what would Gibraltar gain from having something the same but working the other way? You know, do we really want to keep people in Gibraltar tax net because they migrate to Spain? It's very unlikely Gibraltar would gain any additional revenue from that anyway. You know, so what's the point? And as regards companies, saying a company is no longer resident in Gibraltar doesn't really impact that much on the Gibraltar tax coffers, or I wouldn't expect it to anyway.
Any comment on how it might compare to other recent tax treaties?
This treaty doesn't particularly follow the OECD treaty or the United Nations one, but it's, I think we have to recognise it's something done in specific circumstances to address specific issues. I think there's a perception in certain parts of Spain, which I think is misplaced, that, you know, there's all sorts of things being hidden in Gibraltar, you know, relating to business in Spain, that, you know, Gibraltar companies are being used to run businesses in Spain, that, you know, or own lots of assets which are hidden from the Spanish tax authorities. And I think that's a misconception, but I think that possibly explains some of the focus on things like stopping people coming out of the Spanish tax net, for example, when they move to Gibraltar.